All right, so welcome everybody here. My name is Ashley Dutton. I just wanted to thank you for attending this presentation and share with you a little bit about what the Capstone presentation was. As part of the Enhancing Leadership program, the requirement was that they had to complete a capstone project, and the only stipulation was that it had to give back to the PPCC community. So I'm excited for Cathy and Carrie to share with you all about their capstone project and their passion behind it. Over to you guys.
Thank you, Ashley. Good morning. And on behalf of Carrie and I, we would like to thank you for supporting our Enhancing Leadership Program Capstone presentation. My name is Cathy LaBrecque. I am currently the director of Pikes Peak Regional Law Enforcement Academy. I have been here with Pikes Peak Community College over 9 years. I am also a retired law enforcement officer with over 22 years of service. So why am I here enhancing the Courageous Conversations program? Well, I would like to explain in just a couple words why I am passionate about making this program better. Dr. Lewis started this program over a year ago, and as you all know, the current community issues and things that are going on is a great platform for getting involved in those difficult conversations between the races, between the different ethnicities, and also with law enforcement specifically. So my role as a trainer of our new cadets and as being responsible for their future, I take it very seriously that we are trying to prepare all of our citizens and have some of these difficult conversations that hopefully can make things better.
Thank you, Cathy. My name is Carrie Riffee, and I currently work in the TRIO Student Support Services program as the grant specialist and success coach. I've been in this role at Pikes Peak for 10 years. And I've long been affiliated with the college since 2003 when I was a student. I am passionate about this program because I have attended some of the trainings and programs that we are going to be mentioning later in our presentation. And for me, it's been a process of self-discovery where I've had questions, I've had thoughts that I would never bring up in a professional training or a public program, and I need a confidential place where I will not be judged for my thoughts, that my thoughts will be accepted and discussed in a way that helps me grow personally and professionally. Cathy and I were challenged in our Enhancing Leadership program to not only create but present a capstone project. Dr. Bolton, in his address, his fall address to the college, challenged Pikes Peak Community College to become an anti-racist institution. Michelle Obama has propelled Cathy and I into action when she asked us the question, do we settle for the world as it is, or do we work for a world as it should be? Well, Cathy and I have opted to work for a world that can be. Recognizing that noticeable change must always occur from the inside out, you can see that Pikes Peak Community College is well on its way to becoming an anti-racist institution. At the very foundation, Pikes Peak Community College has cultural excellence, ideas, and discussions. It is here that faculty and staff and the entire college comes together to learn the common language of diversity so that all of us can participate in the conversation. Next, we have the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion led by Keith Barnes. Then we have faculty and staff programming led by the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. We have student programming led by Campus Life. And finally, but certainly not least, is the instructional classroom, where most of us are well aware that these courageous conversations are already taking place. Outside of that, we have the Assistant to the President for Academic Excellence and Inclusion, headed up by Dr. Regina Lewis. It is in this area that the Courageous Conversation program will be housed. And outside of that, holding it all together, is our anti-racist institution that will happen as Dr. Bolton has called it to be. We need to be having courageous conversations. And more importantly, we need this program to expand at Pikes Peak Community College because it fills a gap. There is a gap. After the trainings and after all of the programming, there will be self-doubt, self-questioning, self-exploration. And where do we go to have those conversations? Secondly, even though, as Cathy's mentioned, this program has been in existence for a year, since May of 2019, not much encouragement for faculty and staff to use it is voiced. And finally, there are possible concerns of anonymity, especially for faculty and staff. We want our conversations to remain private. Cathy and I realize that true change takes time.
And as we look at the process of systemic change, we are currently in year 1, where we're introducing the change to enhance the Courageous Conversations program. What we're asking of you is a 3-year commitment to make the change, to continue building on Courageous Conversations. And as we work into year 5, that would be where we will sustain the change of the program. And as we continue to year 7, Carrie's and my vision for Courageous Conversations is to have an opportunity for anyone across the entire community college system to be able to log into a computer or make a phone call and reach out to a Courageous Conversations coach who will be able to immediately address their concerns and with them, work through their process. So what do we need from you is some immediate support. First would be a marketing strategy in order to, again, get the Courageous Conversations program out more to our community at Pikes Peak Community College. We do need a process for anonymity where we will collect data, which will be then used to continue to build in the DEI programming. And also, we would like to continue working toward an advisory committee that has already begun by Director Keith Barnes and Dr. Lewis. We feel that we need to continue to build and gather the experts in order to make that advisory committee effective. So how are we going to do this together? There are 4 things we can complete. First, we are asking you for enhanced leadership support for the Courageous Conversations program. You can do this by simply talking about the program during PDW week, during faculty orientations, during student orientations, during Pizza with the Preds, during all throughout the year of the different activities that we have here at Pikes Peak Community College. We're also asking for a laptop computer in order to collect the necessary data in order to enhance the program. We will be collecting simple demographics such as age, gender, race, ethnicity, why a person has sought the assistance of Courageous Conversations in the first place. And obviously the marketing program needs to come on board and step up and really get the name and the program of Courageous Conversations out there to everybody. And again, an advisory committee that we need your assistance to form with Dr. Lewis and Director Keith Barnes in order to put the proper experts in place for their input and their guidance to take this program forward. So as we all continue through this journey, Wouldn't you want a respected space for your concerns and perspectives to be valued? Thank you. We would like to open up to any questions if anyone has them.
Yeah, feel free, anyone, if you have any thoughts, some comments, some questions, anything that you would like to share about this.
This is Regina, Carrie, and Cathy. I felt like your presentation was well put together. I really do appreciate you seeing value in the program and making it so that what you're asking for is doable. Like, you're not going over the top with your ask, and it makes a lot of sense. So thank you for the work that you've done, and to Ashley and Christy for really supporting you to get to this point. I thought that was really powerful.
Thanks, Regina.
Well, thanks to all of our ELP cohort for attending, and we really feel supported, and we can't wait to see your capstone.
Can I add a comment? I wanted to say something to you guys. I just wanted to say I don't really have any questions for you. I felt like your presentation was outlined very well, but I think you touched on something that's really important, is that, you know, the work that we do for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the courageous conversations, it's not just, you know, one group of people who are responsible. You know, this is the college vision, and I just love that you've really hopped on and you've carried that vision, and you're, you know, trying to find ways to support and expand what we're doing. So I just wanted to say great job.
Well, thank you, Ashley.
Appreciate it.
Hey, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was having mic problems. Hey, what you're proposing is timely because a lot of things that you're talking about, we're already having under consideration. And so what you have to understand is a lot of these conversations happen organically. So what you're proposing is creating a brave space where people can express how they feel about an issue without being attacked. And so sometimes there's not a designated place and space where you can have those conversations. They kind of happen organically. The whole purpose behind CEID was to teach people how to have those conversations. And so that when they go into their workspace or in the classroom, people would know how to facilitate difficult conversations. And so we have a multitude or a variety of places where we have these courageous conversations. The question is, when we get engaged in these communications, do people really know how to listen, how to seek first to understand before being understood, to do it with love, and to do it for the purpose of growth, as opposed to attacking people? And that's a question that I think every stakeholder at the college has to ask themselves. And if the answer is no, then that's probably why you need to go to the CEID training. So while we try to create spaces to have brave conversations, they really happen organically. So I can't be in every water cooler conversation or in every classroom to diffuse a situation. And so it's up to the people who are facilitating those conversations to understand how they manifest themselves and how to facilitate those types of conversation. The other thing that we're considering, we're not calling it implicit bias response because that has a dirty sort of connotation to it. We're calling it cultural mediation, and it's something that I know Regina does in her role. I've done it on several occasions, and really a lot of people across the conversation, across the campus have done it. What we're trying to do is get these garden variety conflict. So me and you have a conflict and it's culturally related, but it doesn't rise to the level of a student behavior problem that needs to go to BIT or a Title IX, Title VII, or ADA violation, which needs to go to HR. It's just two people who are butting heads, and we need somebody who is trained in mediation to sit them down and get them to understand each other. And that's something that we're proposing is a cultural mediation group. So Regina could be the point person for the group, although I'm thinking she's going to need more people because I don't know if she'll have the bandwidth when she starts getting bombarded with phone calls and emails. But she could be the point person to have the conversations. But where the teamwork is to look at this case and say, what can we as an institution learn from it so that we can share it with the rest of our stakeholders so that they can avoid having those same issues in their conversation. So it's like a learning lab. And if there's a way that we can document the conflict so that we could put it in a case study, keep it confidential so you're not name dropping, but saying, here's a situation that we had between two faculty members or a faculty member and a student or an administrator. And what can we learn from this and grow so that we can avoid having these types of situations happen across the campus? So it's really a case study to understand how these conflicts manifest themselves. But what I try to tell people is this: everybody wants to blame the other person for the conflict when in truth, you probably are both equally responsible for it. And so even if you have a conflict with me and it was 95% my fault and 5% your fault, I know I have to deal with my 95, but you still have to deal with your 5, because if you don't, you're going to get in another situation and your 5 will become 95. And so you got to go into it with this mutual understanding that there's something that we all can learn and grow from this. And that's the whole idea of the cultural mediation that we're hoping to roll out as a part of the anti-racism initiative.
And I just want to add very quickly, to add to that data, is the courageous conversation, the conflict that you may be dealing with within yourself. It may not be with another person, but you may be struggling with, you know, a perception or an idea or a training or whatever, and having a space and a place for that as well.
Yeah, and I think that Cathy and Carrie, I think that's just brilliant that you're really wanting to focus on that place, because the more that we can encourage each other, just like Keith was saying, it's in you as well. So being able to encourage each other to have those courageous conversations, even if it's not with, oh, I have an issue with another person. So just really finding value in that to want to advertise that, hey, here's a place to do this. And then we can get to the point where it's an immediacy where you can pick up the phone and call because, hey, yeah, something happened at the water cooler and I know Keith's not there to go talk to her. I know Regina, I can't just run over to her next door real quick. She's in class or something. So having the ability to do that so quickly is such a great vision. And I love to see that just grow organically, and even not organically, being able to just really advertise and push for that. And I know we had a few things in the comments here. Dr. Bolton said, well done. I think you've identified something in courageous conversations that really can help PPCC advance our mission. Well done from Josh Baker. Lisa James, really appreciate the work and thought you put into this project. Building on a format that rose out of people's need to have a safe space is just terrific. And I love the term that's been used too, brave space, such a great term. Thanks for all the work on this outstanding presentation from Mike Couillard. Very important topic and very well presented. Congratulations for an outstanding year of commitment to this leadership program. Blessings in your continued journey where you will use the skills you learned. So proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Any other final thoughts or questions about this?
I'd just like to give a quick shout to Ashley and Christy for all of your help through this program as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies, I want to congratulate the amazing work you've done. Congratulations, you've completed your capstone. Well done.
Finally.
So Leo put on the board, you can breathe now.